Welcome to the Positive Pants Podcast. Mindset, motivation and inspiration to help you find your positive pants. It's time to let go of negative thinking, understand why you do what you do and stop the self-sabotage with your host, Fran Excel.
Welcome to the show. As always, it's Fran Excel, your resident subconscious success mentor, helping you find your very own pair of positive pants so you can get out of your own way and live a life that you love. If you want to stop self-sabotaging your own success and let go of the stress, then you are in the right place, my friend. Make sure you download your free Stressed to Success guided meditation at bit.ly/stress to success as my little gift to you just for being here. Please do subscribe, share and review. It really, really helps people that need to hear this message find us, and I so appreciate it. In the show notes, you'll also find details of how you can work with me and where you can get your mitts on my meditations, products, printables, programs. You can find it through the link in my bio on Instagram, which is my favorite place to hang out. So please do come join me over there at I'm Fran Excel. Tag me in your takeaways, slide into my DMs. I'm here for it. So that's the formalities over, my love. So let's jump to the content. Well, here we are. 2023. Feels like yesterday it was 2019. So I'm easing you in with this one in the hopes you're still taking as much time as you need for yourself, as much rest as you need, as much time with your loved ones as you need. I, for one, always tend to take the first week of January off and ease myself back in super slowly. No pressure. And I've stayed off social media for 2 weeks too, which has been wonderful. So I'm also giving you a bit of a raw one today because I know that it's going to give someone who's going through it at the moment some hope or a different perspective. So it's going to be worth the vulnerability hangover. So 2022, for a lot of people, including myself, was a bit of a shocker, personally. It's very easy when things are hard to drown in it and miss all the good things. And all the good that is just right there in front of you. Your brain will be very, very helpful and filter this for you too if you don't put your conscious hat on and intentionally look for the good bits. So please remember that. There's always an unconscious filter on everything. So pop on your conscious hat and take another look because you never ever know what you might find. But it's especially difficult when you're surrounded with people's highlight reels that are literally highlight reels, leaving out all the bits that they don't want you to see or know about, making it look like they've had a wonderful year, and then you're left feeling a little flat and wondering what's wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you, my love. You're just comparing apples to pineapples and thinking that they're the same. So, here we go. I've been honest about the fact that 2022 was difficult for me personally. One day I will talk about it all and the lessons, but it's not appropriate for me to do that for a little while yet. And I know that you'll understand that. I've had to let go of what I thought my life was and what it was going to look like from pretty much every angle. I've had to let go of some of the things that I love the most in my life too. It's been brutal and incredibly painful, honestly. And now I've been in it for a while and starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, I can see it's also been very, very beautiful. Things have happened in the last year that I used to think would break me, but my goodness, it's done the opposite. The things I used to fear the most have happened. And guess what? I'm still here. So, if you've been going through the ringer the last year, I hope you can reflect back and see the same. Even if you're still in the thick of it, I hope you allow yourself to start looking for the value and the lessons that might be there. So my priority in 2022, particularly the second half, was really doubling down and practicing what I preach. I feel very, very grateful to know what I know about human behavior, the nervous system, how to heal, all of the things. I'm so grateful. And I'm really grateful that I can practice what I preach too, because that can often be the hardest thing. So I let go of some goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year because they just weren't a priority anymore. And psst, by the way, you get to change your goals. thought that was an important point to make on January the 2nd. So I have looked after myself like never before. I've been in the gym, I've been out for walks, I've been in the spa, I've been meditating, doing heart math, tapping, journaling, making sure I'm outside, really simply listening to my body every single day and giving it what it needs. There have been many, many baths. In the morning as well. Who knew that would be such a joy? And by the way, this is also how you improve your confidence and self-love too. Actually love yourself, actually treat yourself well, and keep promises to yourself, no matter how small they are. You will find that when you do that, you care far less what other people think of you and more about what you think of yourself. So I've been painfully honest with myself about what is serving me and what is not across all areas of my life. It's something I do often throughout the year, but I've really gone for it over the last few months, and it's very cathartic. So I've let a huge amount of things go. I've burned stuff down, metaphorically speaking, that was sapping my energy. I've supported myself like never before. It's actually been really, really lovely to witness how I've handled things. And I'm incredibly flipping proud of myself. As someone who had such terrible, crippling anxiety and negativity and chronic catastrophizing for most of my life, to be able to handle some of the really big things life can throw at you in the way that I have gives me a tremendous sense of pride. And the same is possible for you. That girl back in 2014 would not have believed that the 2023 version of me could exist. So wherever you're at right now, I promise it can change. It will take work, but your life can be unrecognizable in the best ways. I'm particularly proud of the calm I'm able to access in the chaos, the way I'm able to instantly shift my perspective, the way I'm able to acknowledge and feel, really feel any negative feelings with no judgment. And there's always this calm after the storm that brings with it the incredible lessons. You know, doing this means that things that could have knocked me down for days previously, sometimes weeks, last a matter of hours, or often, to be fair, just minutes. That magic of allowing yourself to feel your feelings in their truest form and know that they are valid, valuable, and justified. It's as if every single time I move through something negative or dark, there's this new layer that sheds and new growth that happens. I don't fear the big bad things anymore. I take a deep breath, zoom out, and just think about the next step. And I really hope that you're finding this episode helpful in some way, because I think there are too many people out there who talk about things being sunshine and roses all the time in order to sell you something, and it's simply not true. I'm always trying to give you the raw, realness of just being a human. It's part of the human experience, right? We're supposed to feel these things. Yeah? And I promise you that these darker things, these harder things, these shadow parts of ourselves are the parts that make us who we are. They are the catalyst for growth. Post-traumatic growth is flipping magical. These things that you thought would break you happen, and your baseline of happiness, resilience, self-worth all shifts for the positive when you allow the growth to happen. And I'm so grateful that I've been through the ringer several times before, so I know this post-traumatic growth to be real, to be true, to be fact. It's going to happen, right? So if you're at the beginning stages of that, please know that this is what can come. Have a little Google. Maybe I'll do a whole episode on it, actually. I know and I absolutely trust the things that I thought would break me are actually building me. That is magic in my eyes. I don't fear other people's judgment of me, because I know it always says far more about them than it does about me. There's so much pressure in this world to show up and be perfect, to always have it together. People will look to tear you down. That's their thing. You don't have to take it on. It's really not about you anyway. It really isn't. It's about other people's egos and shadows and the work that they need to do in themselves. This year, I've been let down by so many people who I thought I was close to and thought that had my back. It's been very painful at times, but also I'm incredibly grateful for it, because I don't want that energy in my life, and I'd rather find out sooner than later, right? When people show you who they are, believe them. They can say words are cheap. They can say anything, but when they show you who they are, flipping believe them. You get to grieve who you thought they were and what you thought you had, but no, it was never really there in the first place, and you will be far better without them, and hopefully leading to what you thought you had anyway. Let the gap that they create leave space and create space for amazing people to come into your life. I'm very, very solid in my opinion of myself these days. I don't need validation from anyone outside of me. Nice as it is when it happens, though. I know who I am. And I'm really excited for who I'm going to be in the future. I'm really excited to meet the version of me that is being forged in the fire. I've also really allowed myself to be supported like never before. This was newer for me this year. I've talked about it before in a previous episode. I've always been very, very independent and identified as very capable of doing everything myself, to the point that I felt like I should. It was part of my identity. And it's been something I've really, really practiced and worked on this year. And it has brought so many beautiful things into my life. Now, I'm not putting any pressure on 2023. It will involve some things that I never thought I'd be doing. Things that I don't want to do. Things that are hard, sad, heartbreaking and challenging to my ego. But I promise you, the episode you hear this time next year will blow your mind. And it'll blow mine too. I know it. So, whatever your last year has looked like, please allow yourself to zoom out and start to get excited about the potential positive possibilities that being forged in that fire, being the phoenix rising from the ashes, can bring you. I can see them so, so clearly now, and I am excited. Like, what an adventure I'm going on. And I hope that you can start to see things that way too. And please remember that the 1st of January is just another day. It's a societal thing that has made it so important and made people feel like it's the only day of the year where you really need to get your shiz together. And if you don't stick with all of these goals and plans and things, then you are a mighty failure. I don't believe in resolutions that set you up to fail and don't take the science of habit forming into account, that don't take the nervous system into account, and are set through a lens of all the things that you think are wrong or not good enough about yourself. No, thank you. I like to do things a little differently. Now, I do love this time of year for reflection, and I also love it because as much as you really can do this work any day during the year, I do like the energy of a clean slate. I just taken away the pressure. You're perfect as you are. You really are. And if you just want to tweak some things this year from a place of self-love rather than self-judgment, then I am so here for that. And although there are some hard things to come for me in 2023, hopefully just for the beginning, I know I'm going to handle anything that comes my way, and I know I can handle anything that comes my way, and I know the same for you. There are lessons I've learned and I'm still learning that I will be forever grateful for, even though they sucked at the time. I know who my people are. I know who I am. There are also plenty of exciting things that are coming up for me this year outside the personal growth I know is coming my way in abundance. There is going to be an even more affordable and accessible way to use the Positive Pants Toolkit app coming very, very soon that I am really, really excited about. There are hugely exciting developments with the podcast and the potential launch of 2 more. One that ties in nicely with this one, but longer form interviews. And so I know that you're going to love that one. And one that's something I just really love to do for fun. So keep your ears peeled for those. I'm also going to be doing more individual Enneagram sessions and bringing you the gift of sweet, sweet self-awareness and the roadmap to your own growth and happiness. So if you're not following at Enneagram and Excel, please do go follow. There is also a link to book your session in the bio over there too. I adore these sessions because they never fail to blow clients' minds and completely shift the way that someone sees themselves. So much self-compassion comes from understanding your Enneagram type, and it gives me the chills to see how that shifts for someone. And that work for myself is also how a lot of this that I've been talking about in this episode came to be true, right? You can also now work with me one-on-one through your company just email hello@franexcel.com and put me in touch with your HR or learning and development contacts. And I'll also be doing more corporate trainings and workshops too, which again, if you'd like me to come into your company or work with your team, just put me in touch with the people responsible and we shall make it so. I've worked with some very cool companies this year around understanding self-sabotage and emotional regulation tools and techniques, as well as the Enneagram and how that creates stronger teams through stronger individuals. And it brings me absolute joy. So the more the merrier. And instead of fixing any goals for myself this year, and outside of everything that I've just said, and outside of continuing to look after myself and support myself to the best of my ability and lean into what my body is telling me it needs, I'm going with authenticity and flow. And the ability to change my flipping mind. There are still lots of unknowns in my world and a little more pain to get through. So I'm going to allow myself to follow the nudges this year. I'm letting things unfold, feeling my feelings, allowing myself to say yes to opportunities or to what scares me, and also taking the time for lots of healing. And this is the beauty of being a human. It really, really is. It's such a beautiful thing that we get to do this. And I hope wherever you're at, or however you're feeling today, that you know how much you matter and that amazing things are coming your way. So if you got value from this and you know in your gut that now is the time to step up and start rewiring your thinking and start changing things for yourself, then join the Positive Pants Toolkit app and community so you can work out what needs to happen to get you from where you're at right now to the action-taking success you know you can be. And if you want my eyes and ears on your problems, then I work with people one-on-one and through my programs. You can find all the details to join the toolkit or book in a call in the show notes, the link in my bio on Instagram, and on my website, franexcel.com. So stop waiting for if and when and choose to change things now, because you can. I'm here to believe in you when you don't